Good evening, all. Hope everyone doing well. I think Nata scores of many sessions has been out now. I think from the last 1.5 months we are writing Nata, and the results of Nata are coming. And I hope everyone is having a basic idea about the scores record, okay, and importance of the topics also. I think you are aware. So scores record, if you compare, just take the case of the toppers. That means top scores are now in the range of around 170. And you can find the rank of toppers from our Instagram page, THiNC Institute of Design Instagram page. There you can find the scores. Scores of the toppers. That means highest scores you can find over there. And you can make those things as an aim or target. Okay. To cross those boundaries of that scores, you can make us like a target. So, and you can find that how many students were there in that particular score range also. So I think around 170 marks are there for a plenty. Hi, okay. Okay. So I'm just responding to the chats over here. That is why I'm just looking to the side. So I think today we will be discussing topics from arithmetics. Hope you had gone through our previous sessions. I'm just looking into the playlist. Okay, that's my phone. Okay, so just look into you can access the Nata Sprint playlist from our site. From the YouTube, you can access our Nata Sprint playlist. So in the Sprint playlist, today we are discussing arithmetic topics. Our first part, as well as which part? Fourth part, were purely for arithmetics, not purely. Half of that from other topics also being added. So topics of arithmetics were discussed in the last two Nata sessions. And today also we will be discussing arithmetics topics. So that is our plan. Similarly, non-verbal topics were discussed complete non-verbal topics had already discussed in this channel. So that you can find in the Nata Sprint Part 2, as well as Nata Sprint Part 3 and Nata Sprint Part 5. Within that 3 sessions, I think I had taken nearly 2 hours per session. Okay, nearly 2 hours per session. I had already taken Nata Sprint for non-verbal, and now we are continuing with the arithmetic. So you can look into those videos for better understanding of the non-verbal as well as arithmetic topics. So I request everyone to go through those videos. If you like them, just give a like and subscribe our channel. Those who haven't subscribed, because we are coming with similar content until that exams are over. Okay, so I think we can directly get into the topics today. So first of all, we will be starting with simplification. Okay, so I will share my screen, and from there we can start simplification. Hope my screen is visible to all. So let's discuss some simplification questions. So simplification, we are going to start from the very basic rule, that is BODMAS rule. Okay, so we are going to start from the very basic rule, that is BODMAS rule. This is used to solve questions like this. Okay, for giving priority orders, which operation we should do first. Okay, that is what we are using here. So we can just look into the acronym BODMAS. So BODMAS stands for bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So actually this is not only useful for this particular chapter. Okay, so questions based on this particular topic or chapter is being repeated in many other topics also. So if you have a good understanding of this particular one, you can definitely score well. So over here, brackets are to be done first, and brackets is also having a preference order. So first of all, we will be solving line brackets. Line brackets means if it is writing like 3 minus 2, okay, plus 4, if it is coming like this, first of all, we will be solving this 3 minus 2. That means simply 1. 1 plus 4, it is 5. Okay, this is how we are solving questions over here. So why don't we try one question? So you guys can solve this question. I'll be looking for your answers in the chat. Quick, guys, quick. I'm looking for your answers. First of all, give priority to bracket. And you can decide which bracket to give focus. But decide based on our priority order, okay? Not personal decisions are here. We have set of rules. So we need to focus on that. So AK4 asked me a question. What are the most expected and repeated question in arithmetics according to previous papers? So actually, when I talk to my students regarding the questions, I have a plenty of students who had already written these exams. So each day, different priorities are there. I came to know that even though the questions from the chapter work time, okay, you can note that the chapter work time questions are there in the exam, and questions from train related. Actually, work time questions has been repeated many times. Work time question from that particular topic has been repeated many times because I just heard the same from several students. Okay, they were given Nata in different sessions. Okay, not in the same session they were given. So many of the students are getting non-verbal priority question papers, and a few are getting arithmetic priority question paper. And when I talked to a student who had got an arithmetic priority question paper, from her, I came to know that in that particular question paper, there was 4 questions on work time chapter. I think I had already taken that particular topic in my first or second arithmetic session. I think it is in my first arithmetic session over here. So you can refer to the video number 1 or that part number 1 for that particular topic. Okay. So this is the area where I just repeatedly heard questions are coming, and questions from percentage is there. Question from percentage is coming. Questions from ratio is coming. So these kinds of basic and classic topics of arithmetics being asked. Okay. So now let's solve this question, and after that, we can move to the next one. So over here, we will be solving the bracket operations first. 4 minus 3, that is 1. 5 minus 1 stands 4. 6 minus 4, 2. 5 minus 2, that is 3. So this is 3 of something. Okay. This is, Angel, very good. This is 3 of something. So 1 plus 1 by 2, 3 by 2. 1 minus 1 by 2, simply 1 by 2. Okay. So let's see how we'll solve 3 by 2 divided by 1 by 2. I'm writing like this. So just take the reciprocal of 1 by 2. So 3 by 2 into 2 by 1. This is how we are doing the same. So you can cancel these 2's. So it will be like 3 by 1. And at the end, it will be 1. Sorry, 3. So you can cancel this 2 and 2. So it will be 3 of 3 divided by 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3. 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3. So it will be like 5 by 6. Okay. 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3. It will be like 1 by 6. So I will be telling you how to do this. A by B plus C by D. So it will be like AD plus BC divided by BD. So this is how we are doing this. Cross multiply. Okay. So this is how we are doing questions from this particular area. Angel, Niranjana, Sanjana, and all. Very good. So over here, 3 of 3 divided by. So this is 5 by 6 divided by 1 by 6. So you can cancel these 6's. So it will be 5. So according to BODMAS, we need to solve bracket first. We had already. Next priority is off. Off is exactly similar to multiplication, but we need to give priority to this off first. Okay. So 3 of 3 means 3 into 3, that is simply 9. 9 by 5 is the right answer. Okay. It can be written like this. So 9 by 5 is the right answer. So let's look into the powers of exponents. So actually, I'm just revisiting the concept which we had learned in our school life. Okay. So actually, if you have a good hold on the topics which you learned in the school life, Nata is easy. Okay, Nata is very, very, very easy. Nothing new in this. Nothing new in this question paper. So AM into AN. So this is exponential rules. For example, I can give you an example. Sorry. So it will be like 2 raised to 3. Okay. 2 raised to 3 into 2 raised to 2. 1 second. 2 raised to 3 into 2 raised to 2. Okay. So actually we are writing it like 2 raised to 3 means 8. 2 raised to 2 means 4. It need to be 32. Okay. So according our rule, a raised to m into a raised to n equal to a raised to m plus n. That is 2 raised to 3 plus 2. So that is 2 raised to 5. Yes, it is 2 raised to 5 because 32 is 2 raised to 5. So we can write it like this. A raised to m into a raised to n, that is equal to a raised to m plus n. Okay. I think it's clear. Now next, a raised to m by a raised to n, that is equal to a raised to m minus n. Very important. Similarly, a raised to m by a raised to n, when these terms are same, then it is a raised to 0. It is also equal to 1. Just have a look into this. A raised to m, the whole raised to n. It is equal to a raised to mn. Okay, it is equal to a raised to mn. AB, the whole raised to n. It is equal to a raised to n into b raised to n. A by b, the whole raised to n. Very much useful in different topics, including mensuration, that is area, volume. This particular thing is very much applicable there. Okay. Similarly, compound interest, this particular one is used there. So a by b, the whole raised to n, equal to a raised to n by b raised to n. Next is a raised to minus n, that is equal to 1 by a raised to n. So you can take a screenshot of all these things and write down in your notebook. So this is your question. 5 raised to n plus 3 minus 6 into 5 raised to n plus 1 divided by 9 into 5 raised to n minus 5 raised to n into 2 square. Okay. So in this particular question, you can use this a raised to m plus n, that is equal to a raised to m into a raised to n. You can use this particular exponential rule over here. After that, you can split 5 raised to n plus 3. After splitting 5 raised to n plus 3 and 5 raised to n plus 1, you can easily take a 5 raised to n common in the numerator as well as the denominator. Okay. So it will be easy. You can take that common. Take it common. I'm expecting your answers in the chat. Q. So just take 5 raised to n plus 3. It's like this. 5 raised to n into 5 raised to 3 minus 6 into 5 raised to n into 5 raised to 1 divided by. So here 9 into 5 raised to n. You can write simply like that. Minus 5 raised to n into 2 square, that is 4. So just take a 5 raised to n common. Just take a 5 raised to n common in the numerator. So it will be like 5 cube minus 6 into 5 divided by 5 raised to n 9 minus 4. Okay. So you can cancel this 5 raised to n and 5 raised to n. So it will be like 125 minus 30 divided by 5. So over here, this is 95 by 5. So finally, 19. Angel, very good. 19 is the right answer. Okay. 19 is the right answer. So let's move to the next question. Next one is over here. Try this. Try this question. So as a hint, you can take this. Root a, square root of a, you can write like a raised to 1 by 2. Cube root of a, you can write like a raised to 1 by 3. Okay. Similarly, over here, another rule. A raised to m, the whole raised to n. You know that it is a raised to mn. If it is a raised to m, the whole raised to n, the whole raised to p, the whole raised to q, then you can write it like a raised to m and pq. M into n into p into q. Now you can solve. I'm looking for your answers. Quick, guys. Just put your responses in the chat as quick as possible. So 81. How will you consider 81 in this question? So what will you do? How will you deduct 81? Hi, Angel. Very good. Others? Niranjana, 9 square. Okay. How will you deduct 9 square? So 9 square, you can deduct like 3 raised to 4. Okay, that we can do at the end. Okay, let's keep it like this. So over here, this is 81 square. Cube root 3 by 2. 1 by 4. So you can write it like 81 raised to 2 into 1 by 3 into 3 by 2 into 1 by 4. So 2 and 2 easily cancelled. 3 and 3 easily cancelled. So 81 raised to 1 by 4. Okay. So 81, you can write like 3 raised to 4 raised to 1 by 4. So it is easy. 3 raised to 4 into 1 by 4. So you can easily cancel this. So it is simply 3. Simply 3 is the right answer. Okay. So 3 is the right answer and Angel given it right. Very good. So let's try these equations. Identities. Already know. Okay. These identities are already known from the 8th standard. Okay. From the 8th standard. So a plus b the whole square. A square plus 2ab plus b square. A minus b the whole square. A square minus 2ab plus b square. So actually in this chapter we are learning why we are already learned this thing in school. Application of these things, that is what we are going to learn today, as well as in the upcoming classes and even in the previous classes. Okay. So earlier, I think we had learned speed related questions at that time. We just come across this particular one. Similarly, mensuration questions, area of ring, etc. At that time, we will be using this particular one. So over here, a square minus b square, that is a plus b into a minus b. X plus a into x plus b. X square plus a plus b into x plus ab. So just look into these equations and take a screenshot if you want. So let's move to a question. Solve this question. 287 into 287 plus 269 into 269 minus 2 into 287 into 269. So just solve and put it in the chat using the identities which we learned now. Okay, just look into the numbers and connect it to the identities. So actually we are starting a Nata crash batch by Monday. Okay, 27th May, Monday onwards, we are starting a new crash batch. Only limited seats are there. Okay, only online is only available. Okay, online only available for that Monday batch, that is which is going to start on 27th. So those who wish to join those batches can contact in the number provided in the chat. You can find the pinned message. So there will be options. Okay. Definitely there will be options. You can find the number in the chat box. And for the annotated copies of these PDFs, like solved answers and things, you can contact in that particular number itself, and you will be getting the annotated copies of these things. So over here, this is A and this is B. So this is 2AB. Okay. So now the A into A square, B into B square, minus 2AB. Okay. That is A minus B, the whole square. So you can find the A here, that is 287. You can find the B here, that is 269. Take the square of that. Your answer is ready. Square of 18. Square of 18. 324. Very good. Angel, Niranjana, Anshika. Very good. 324 is the right answer. So let's try the next question. So which identity will be using here? 64 square minus 36 square. 20 into x. See, actually these kinds of subtracting square related questions you can find when Pythagoras theorem comes. Okay, Pythagoras theorem comes. Hypotenuse square minus base square. So at that time, it may not be sounds good that we are going to find the square of huge numbers. Okay, so these kinds of methods or techniques will be helping you at that moment for solving these questions. So 64 square minus 36 square, that is equal to 20x. I think clear. So let's try. What will you do here? This is A square. This is B square. Assume like that. So how will you solve for A square minus B square? It will be like A plus B into A minus B. Okay. It is equal to A plus B into A minus B. So over here, we have 64 plus 36 into 64 minus 36 equal to 20x. That is 100 into 28 equals 20x. So now you can bring that 20 down here. So x will be equals 100 into 28 divided by 20. 0, 0 cancel, 2 and 28.
Am I audible all? Can you respond in the live chat?
Sorry for the inconvenience happened in between, a small network error. So we can continue.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We can continue the session, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were discussing a question. Earlier we were discussing this particular one. So over here, 1 by root 3 plus root 2. So over here, we need to remove these roots from the denominator. For that purpose, we will be multiplying with the conjugate. Root 3 plus root 2 into root 3 minus root 2 divided by root 3 minus root 2. Actually, this is equal to 1. Root 3 minus root 2 by root 3 minus root 2. It is actually equal to 1. Okay, so it will not make much changes. So it is like root 3 minus root 2 divided by, you can take this root 3 plus root 2 into root 3 minus root 2, that is in the format root 3 minus root 2 divided by a square minus b square format. Okay, so you can find it like this. So a plus b into a minus b. So it will be like root 3 minus root 2 divided by 3 minus 2. So simply finding the value of 1.732 minus 1.414 is enough, because this is root 3 minus root 2. It is equivalent to this. Okay, it is equivalent to this. So it is 0.318. And Angel and Sanjana are right here. Very good. Very good. So why don't we try another question? So this seems to be a very big complex question until you deduct it into the simpler version. So that is what we are learning in this chapter, simplification. So this seems to be a complex question. So try this. Actually, we have had different operations we need to learn from this particular one. So consider, because the first two are same, you can consider it like A. Second two are same, you can consider it like B. And the denominator A and B are present. So you can find a square as well as b square in the numerator and an a plus b in the denominator. Solve with letters and final answer. For final answer, just convert it into the numbers. Okay. So it will be like this is A, this is A, this is B, this is B, this is A, this is B. So it is like A square minus B square divided by A plus B. So it will be like A plus B into A minus B divided by A plus B. Okay. A plus B into A minus B divided by A plus B. Clear? So cancel it. So simply finding the value of A minus B is enough for this question. Simply finding the value of A minus B is enough for this question. So A is 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1 by 100 minus 1 plus, sorry, it is like minus 1 minus 1 by 1 plus 1 by 100. So if you remove that bracket, it will be looks like 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1 by 100 minus 1, minus and minus become plus, plus 1 by 1 plus 1 by 100. Now you can cancel this plus 1 and minus 1. So you can see this. This is 1 by 1 plus 1 by 100. This is 1 by 1 plus 1 by 100. So just simply 2 into 1 divided by 1 plus 1 by 100. Okay. So what is the value of 1 plus 1 by 100? So it is like, cross it, 100 plus 1, 101 by 100. So 2 into 1 by 101 by 100. Take the 100 to the numerator. Okay. Take the 100 to the numerator. So it will be like 200 divided by 101. Okay. So it will be looks like 200 divided by 101. So right option is option B. And over here, Angel as well as Sanjana given it right. Very good. So let's try another question. Another question from exponents. 5 raised to a equal to 3125. Then value of 5 raised to a minus 3 is. Actually, we are doing these questions to get a grip on basic arithmetics. We are just getting into the real game later. Okay, just get an arithmetic mind. That is why we are doing these questions. They just make a foundation. So these things will be add like a foundation. Okay, go ahead. Q. So over here, actually it is in the format a raised to m minus n, that is equal to a raised to m by a raised to n. So it is 5 raised to a minus 3. So it will be like 5 raised to a minus 3 become 5 raised to a by 5 raised to 3. So actually we have the value of 5 raised to a, 3125. We don't need to bother. We need to have the value of 5 raised to 3. What is 5 cube? 5 cube is actually 125, isn't it? So 3125 divided by 125. So you can easily cancel with the 25 if you want. All right. Okay. So if you can cancel it easily with the 25, then you will be getting 625. You will be getting 625. After that, one more time you can cut with the 25. Again, you will be getting 25. So right answer is option A, 25. Angel, very good. So why don't we try another question? Simplification question. So these kinds of questions will be definitely there. This is one among the type of question which is usually coming in Nata. In every session, questions like these kinds of will be there. Okay. So questions of these kinds are a part of every Nata, every session. You need to solve with the X and Y. So in a group of buffaloes and ducks, the number of legs are 24, more than twice the number of heads. What is the number of buffaloes in the group? So over here, we can assume, let X number of buffaloes. Okay, we are assuming there are X number of buffaloes and Y number of ducks. Let X number of buffaloes and Y number of ducks are there. This is the assumption. Each buffalo is having 4 legs. Hope you know. Each duck is having 2 legs. Hope you know. So coming over here, number of legs. So one buffalo is having 4 legs, 1 into 4. 2 buffaloes, 2 into 4. X buffaloes, 4x legs. Y ducks, 2y legs. So this is number of legs. What is the peculiarity of number of legs? Number of legs are 24, more than number of heads. Twice the number of heads. That you need to pay attention. Twice number of heads. So X buffaloes having X heads, Y ducks are having Y heads. So now you can easily cancel these things. 4x plus 2y equals 24 plus 2x plus 2y. So 2y and 2y cancel. Bring the 2x here. So this is 4x minus 2x. It is equal to 24. Implies x equal to 24 by 2. Since it is 2x, isn't it? So that is 12. So there are 12 buffaloes. Angel, fine, good. 12 buffaloes are actually there. So let's try another question. Another simplification question. The cost of 4 chairs and 3 tables is 1800. The cost of 5 chairs and 4 tables is 2300. Find the cost of each chair. Find the cost of each chair. Actually, this is one among the common type of questions you can find in Nata sessions. Okay. Common type. In every arithmetic examination or examination having arithmetic, it is a common one. Not exactly same question, but questions of these formats coming with X and Y. You need to substitute X and Y, then solving questions. Okay, I think done. So cost of 4 chairs plus 3 tables equals 1800. Equation number 1. Cost of 5 chairs plus 4 tables equals 2300. So I'm going to equate this. I only want the value of a chair. So I'm going to cancel these tables. So equate these 3 and 4. So actually the LCM of 3 and 4, that is 12. Just multiply. With the 4 here, it become 12. Multiply with the 3 here, it become 12. Okay. So finally, it will be looks like 16 chair plus 12 tables equals 1800 into 4. That is 3672. 7200. Okay. Next is 5 chairs become 15 chairs. Plus 4 into 3, 12 tables. So 2300 into 3. That is 6900. Okay. 6900. So 4 into 4, 16. 3 into 4, 12. So 18, 36, 72. Similarly, 6900. So over here, one chair, okay, 5 into 3, that is 15. So one chair equals 3 here, 0, 0. Okay. So it is 300. Each chair equal to 300 only. So 7,200 minus 6,900. So cost of a chair, that is equal to 300, and it is Anshika, Angel, and Sanjana. Okay. So careful while solving these kinds of questions. So these kinds of simultaneous equation solvable questions will be there. So try this question. Cost of 3 pens, 4 erasers, and 5 sharpeners is 40. The cost of 5 pens, 7 erasers, and 9 sharpeners is 70. Find the total cost of one of each. Okay. Find the cost of one of each. After this, we will be learning ratio and proportion today. And after that, mixtures and allegations. Okay, after that, mixtures and allegations. I think enough time. So over here, 3 pen plus 4 erasers plus 5 sharpeners is 40. 5 pens plus 7 erasers plus 9 sharpeners is 80. Oh, sorry, my bad. It is 70. So this is the information which is provided in the question. What we want, 1 pen plus 1 eraser plus one sharpener. That is what we want. So just look into the terms. Just simply multiply with 2 here. The result will be like this. 6 pen plus 8 erasers plus 10 sharpeners equal to 80. Minus, just subtract this one. 5 pen plus 7 erasers plus 9 sharpeners. That will be equal to 70. So simply look over here. 1 pen, 1 eraser, 1 sharpener equals 10 only. Okay. Hi, Angel. Good. 10 is the right answer. 10 is the right and record answer. So let's. Now we will be looking into the next topic, that is ratio and proportion. So I hope everyone is aware about what is ratio. Maybe you maybe make tea. Okay. So for making tea, we need to take milk as well as water. Okay. We need to take milk as well as water in a certain proportion. In some, depends upon the person and their taste, it is decided. Sometimes it will be like 1:2. That means 1 cup of milk and 2 cups of water. Okay. How many cups of tea you can make with this? So this is my suggestion, that whenever you find ratio, add it together. 1:2, if you find 1 plus 2, 3. Keep that number 3 in mind. Okay. Out of the 3, 1 is milk. Out of the 3, 2 is water. This is actually that meaning of that ratio. So whenever you find ratios, add it. Whenever you find. So for making tea of 3 cups, we need to take 1 cup of milk, 2 cups of water. What about making tea for 6 persons? Milk, water. How much milk? How much water? 2 cups of milk, 4 cups of water. Then I can make 6 cups of tea. Okay. So this is called proportion. This is called ratio. This is called proportion. I hope that is clear. And actually we had just write like 1:2, and it is somewhat equal 2:4. And these values are called means. And these values are called extremes. So product of extremes. Product of extremes equals product of means. That means if a proportion or if a ratio A is to B, it is proportional to C is to D. Then AD will be equals BC. So it will be helping you to solve questions in a very easy manner. So this is the basic things you need to know in this particular chapter, nothing more. So find the ratio of 10 minutes and 1 hour. Find the ratio between 10 minutes to 1 hour. You can put your responses in the chat. Find the ratio 10 minutes and 1 hour. Those who haven't subscribed our channel, they can subscribe our channel because similar contents are coming in the upcoming weeks. So you can subscribe and click on that bell icon. Okay. You can click on that bell icon, so you'll be getting notifications on right time regarding these kinds of videos. So I think we can look into the answer. Hi, Angel. Only Angel, others. So over here, 10 minutes. 1 hour means 60 minutes. Okay. 1 hour means 60 minutes. So it will be like 1:6. Option C. Very good, very good. Angel and Sanjana, very good. 1:6 is the right answer. Why don't we try this question? And it is tricky. It is little bit tricky. If 40% of x is equal to 50% of y, then find the ratio of x and y. Okay, 40% of x is equal to 50% of y. Then find the ratio of x and y. That's it. Go ahead. So we had already learned the percentage chapter in the previous session. You can avail the videos from our THiNC Institute of Design YouTube channel playlist. So we had created a separate playlist dedicated to this. I think in my second arithmetic session, that is in the part 4. Okay, Nata sprint part 4. There you can find percentage and shortcuts and techniques for percentage over there. Okay, you can avail that video. I hope we can solve this. So over here, 40% of x is equal to 50% of y. Okay, so over here, actually you can write it like 40 by 100 and 50 by 100. That is not a record here. You can simply cancel this. Percentage. Actually 40 by 100 is 40%. So I'm just, for the sake of doing this question quick in the exam halls, I'm just giving you this technique. 0, 0, you can cancel. What do you want? Ratio of x is to y. So bring the y down here. So x by y. Bring the 4 down here. 5 by 4. So x by y, when it becomes x is to y, it will be like x is to y equals 5 is to 4. Sometimes students go for this 4 is to 5 because due to confusion, which side we need to take it up. So, very good, Angel. So let's try next question from ratio and proportion. So this is solvable through product of means equal to product of extremes. Okay, you can use that technique. Product of means equal to product of extremes. And this particular chapter is very useful for other topics also. So just solve this. Find the value of x in the following proportion. 22.5 into is to x. Q. I think we can solve it. So product of means equal to product of extremes. So it is like 22.5. So product of extremes into 7, that is equal to x into 17.5. So for finding the x, you can bring that over here. 22.5 into 7 divided by 17.5 equal to x. So you can take this like 225 like by 175, or you can divide throughout with the 2.5 also here. So it is like 225 5. So you can cancel with the 25. This is 25 8 9 times. Okay, so this is 7 times. So 7 and 7 cancel. Okay, 7 and 7 cancel. Actually, the options were repeated from the previous question. Okay, so the options were same. So just simply need to put the ratio here. So over here, it will be like 22.5 is to 9 equals 17.5 is to 7. This is the answer. Okay, so right answer is 9. We were looking for 9. Okay, Angel, very good. So let's move to the next question. One question similar to the one which we had done earlier. Okay, it is similar to the one which we had done few seconds back. If 50% of x minus y equals 20% of x plus y, then find the ratio of x and y. Then find the ratio of x and y. Go ahead. Q. So take that 50% inside this bracket. Take this 20% inside this bracket. And x and y, separate them to the left and right. So over here, this is 50% of x minus 50% of y equals 20% of x plus 20% of y. This is distributive law. Okay. So I'm just taking this to the right and this to the left. So 50% of x minus 20% of x equals 20% of y plus 50% of y. This is 30% of x and this is 70% of y. So we need to know x by y. So x by y equals 70% by 30%. So you can cancel these percentages. Okay. Or else it will be like 70 by 100 divided by 30 by 100. At that time, we will be cancelling hundreds. Now we are cancelling percentages. Nothing different. 0, 0 cancel. So x is to y will be like 7 is to 3. Be careful. Options may have these kinds of 3 is to 7 also. So be careful while finding the answer. 7 is to 3, the right answer. Yeah, good. Angel and Sanjana, good. Great. So try this question. If m is to n equal to 5 is to 4, then find the value of the ratio. 5m plus 3m is to 3m plus n. Solve it. We have a shortcut. Solve it quickly. So 5m plus 3m is to 3m plus n. So for the annotated copies of this PDF, you can contact in the number provided in the chat. Okay. So there is a number provided in the chat. So there you can request for annotated in the WhatsApp. Okay. Annotated copies of this particular session. I know a few are regularly asking for that. That is why I just repeated it. A few students have been regularly asking that, and I think they are getting benefit of that. So make benefit of everything which is available in the internet. Actually, these things are available at a free of cost. Okay, so make maximum use of it. In my school days, these kinds of resources are not that much available because YouTube didn't gain much momentum while I was in school. Okay, so actually YouTube gained momentum only when that Reliance Jio and 4G internet, I think, come to India. Then after that only YouTube and things are gained a momentum as like today. So until then, the content creators were very less. Okay, at that time, educational content creators were extremely less. So now everything is available in a luxury. So make use of these things and get the annotated PDFs and just learn with those things. Make a note of those things. So over here, if m is to n equal to 5 is to 4, m equal to 5, n equal to 4. Take like that. Because m is to n is like this. Just put m equal to 5. Sorry, this is actually n. I'm sorry, my bad. Okay. Actually, that was n. It was a printing error. My bad. So sorry. So over here, this is 5 and this is 4. So this is 5 into 5 plus 3 into 4 plus, sorry, is to 3 into 5 plus 4. So it is 20 plus 12. Sorry, 25 plus 12 is to 15 plus 4. So that is 37 is to 19. Sanjana, good. Okay, 37 is to 19. Very good. So let's move to the next question. X is to y equal to 7 is to 9. Y is to z equal to 3 is to 2. Find the value of x is to y is to z. So we have two methods. We are Angel for the previous question. Very good. For this particular question, we have two methods. Okay, two methods we are having for this question. You guys just solve it and put it in the chat. I'm waiting for your replies. Okay, quick. X is to y, that is 7 is to 9. Y is to z, that is 3 is to 2. So two methods. One method is like this, equating the terms of y because they are common. Okay, so 7 is to 9 and 3 is to 2. So equating them, so just multiply with the 3 here. Okay, that's enough. Multiply with the 1 here. That's enough. So it becomes 7 is to 9, 9 is to 2, and it is like 7 is to 9 is to 2. This is one way of solving this question. One more way is like this. Write 7 is to 9 and 3 is to 2 like this. Okay, 7 is to 9 and 3 is to 2. This is the second method. 7 into 3, 21. And over here, 9 into 3, 27. And 9 into 2, 18. So it will be equal to 21 is to 27 is to 18. So you can divide throughout with a 3. So it becomes 7 is to 9 is to 1 second. It is 6. Okay. 7 is to 9 is 6. I forgot to multiply this 2 with 3. So it is 9 is to 6. So 7 is to 9 is to 6. Okay. Angel, very good. So 7 is to 9 is to 6. So this is another way. Okay. So that method I will be explaining once again. 7 into 3, 21. So multiply left, then 9 into 3, then it is 9 into 2. Okay. So this is a method. Actually, we are writing ratios like x by y. Okay. Ratios we are writing like numerator 1 by denominator 1. Okay. Numerator 1 by denominator 1. So over here, x is to y, we are writing like numerator 1 is to denominator 1. Then it is y is to z. Numerator 2 is to denominator 2. So at that time, this is numerator 2. This is denominator 2. Okay, this is how we are writing. So the ratio is simply like numerator 1 into numerator 2 is to denominator 1 into numerator 2. Next is denominator 1 into denominator 2. So this is the way of solving this question. This is the shortcut actually. Okay, this is actually a shortcut because when complex questions come, not in the case of easy questions, when complex questions comes, these kinds of shortcuts are essential. I'll be showing you another question. See, over here, you can solve it by equating or you can solve it like this also. You can solve this. So I'll be getting a technique. So this is N1, D1, N2, D2, N3, D3. Because two terms, N1, D1, N2, D2, N3, D3. So we want X is to Y is to Z is to K. So first term is definitely easy. N1, N2, N3. Product of these things. Last term is also easy. Let me write the last term. D1, D2, D3. Okay. And the middle terms are simply transitions. First of all, we lose the N1 and D1 comes there. Remaining two are same, N2, N3. Next time, we lose N2 also. D1 and D2 will replace. Okay, it will be like this. Then it is N3. Finally, D3 replace N3. This is the flow. If you know the flow, there is no need to by heart this. Okay. So coming to this question, if you substitute the values, it will be like 2:3, 3:4, 1:2. So the first term will be 2 into 3, that is 6. Okay, 2 into 3 into 1, 6. Next is 3 into 3 into 1, 9. Next is 3 into 4, 12 into 1. Final, 3 into 4 into 2, that is 12 into 2, 24. Everything you can throughout divide with a 3. So it will be 2:3:4:8. Okay, 2:3:4:8. Okay, so there is no need to equate or anything. You can use this formula for solving these kinds of complex questions. So option C is the right answer. So let's move to the next question. Solve this, very simple. We only need to find A to C. We don't want the value in the middle. We don't want. Simply, whenever you see the question, 2:5, 1:3. We want only 2 into 1, 2, 5 into 3. We don't want the central value, 5 into 3, 15, 2:15. Simply we are getting. If you want the middle value, it is 5:1, simply 5. Okay. Easily we are getting answer through this method. Hi, Angel, good. Okay. So there are lot of techniques here in this chapter. So next is dividing money. Distribute rupees 180 between M and N in the ratio 4:5. Important type of question which is coming in the Nata. Distribution, money, sweets, all these kinds of distribution question, because this is basic and classic topic of arithmetics. So distribute 180. As I mentioned earlier, whenever you find ratio, add it. 4:5, 9. Okay, 4 out of 9, 5 out of 9. Who is getting 4? M. Who is getting 5? N. So multiply with 180. Into 180, into 180. 20, 20. After cancelling. So this is 80 rupees. This is 100 rupees and Angel, right? Very good. Why don't we try another question of a same format? Now it's your time. Go ahead. Exactly similar question to the previous one. What? Dividing money among 3 people. And we need to know how much Ritu is getting. Go ahead. Okay. Let's try. So a person divides his money of 62,500 in among 3 girls. Okay. So it will be right if it is like this. Among 3 girls. Namely, Shiga, Ritu, and Nisha in ratio 14:7:4. Add it. 14, 7, 21, 25. So, Shiga, Ritu, Nisha. 14/25, 7/25, and 4/25. This is the share. Okay. Whenever find ratio, add it. And now we need to multiply. I'm not going into every others. So just simply multiply 62500 here. So when you take this out, it will be like 7/25 into 625. I hope everyone knows that 25 square is 625. So 2500. 7 into 2500, that is 175. Option B, 17500 is the right answer. Okay. Option B, 17500 is the right answer. So let's try the next question. Angel is right. Good. Okay. So an amount of 10,500 is divided among Ramesh, Anshu, and hope you guys read like Chunni. I read like C.A. Chunni. Okay. So if C.A. Chunni gets 2 by 5 of the total amount got by Ramesh and Anshu together, then what amount does Chunni get? Solve this. Solve this. An amount 10,500 is divided among Ramesh and Anshu and Chunni. Go ahead. Solve this. I'm looking for your answers in the chat. Okay. So an amount 10,500 divided among Ramesh and Anshu. Assume Ramesh and Anshu get an amount X. And Chunni got an amount 2 by 5th of total amount got by Ramesh and Anshu. That is X. Then what amount does Chunni get? The question is asking about 2 by 5 of X. Okay. So what we know is X plus, that means Ramesh plus Anshu plus Chunni, that is equal to 10,500. Okay. So X plus 2 by 5 of X, that is 10,500. Okay. X plus 2 by 5 of X. So that is 7 by 5 of X equals 10,500. Okay. So X equals 10,500 into 5 divided by 7. So question is asking about 2 by 5 of X. Okay. You can multiply and solve, or you can directly come here like this. So 2 by 5 of X. So simply multiply with the 2 by 5 into 10,500 into 5 by 7. So we can avoid multiplying with the 5. That step you can avoid. Okay. So 2 into 105, 210. Okay. Into 2 zeros by 7. Now easy to cancel, 21, 3. So 3, 000. Option C. Angel, good. Option C is the right answer, 3,000. Let's move to the next question. So next we are looking into the questions of mixtures. Okay. So I'll be getting a basic idea of what is mixtures. So I'll be telling you a story. Okay, let's have a story. So actually, when I was in my school days, when I was traveling in a bus, I just found a shopkeeper near me. He's near a ration shop. Okay. So in the ration shop, hope everyone know that the price of the rice will be very less. So assume, okay, so he's in the ration shop, and I thought that he is buying rice from there and selling it in his shop. I thought so. So I just mentioned the same to my parents. But when having that rice, they didn't believe. Okay, because in that particular shop, so in the shop, he is selling rice for 50 rupees per kg, assume. Okay, so he's selling rice for 50 rupees per kg. And he's having 5 kilogram packet. So 5 kilogram packet is costing 250 rupees. Okay, so 250 rupees, that is 5 kilogram package. So we usually buy this 5 kilogram packet, but the shopkeeper told that the rice is available in loose quantities also. Okay, so and it is only 45 rupees per kg. Okay, so it is only 45 rupees per kg. So I think 4 kilogram only cost 225 rupees. So 25 rupees profit. Okay, we are getting 25 rupees profit. So we assume so. So, and we think that he's buying rice for 100 kilograms. So the wholesale dealer is giving some discount to him. So he is passing that discount to me. So this is how the thoughts were going. So when after finding him in the ration shop, I start to think about how he is making profit. So actually what he was doing, he just take that 50 rupees per kg rice. Okay, so he will take 1 kilogram from this and he will mix with a 1 kilogram of 10 rupees per kg rice, which he brought from the ration shop. So he will mix it and he will make a rice. Okay, actually now the mixture cost 60 rupees. That means 10 plus 50, 60 rupees it will cost. So that means 60 by 2 per kg is 30 rupees. So he is making rice for 30 rupees. Now it is cost 30 rupees only to him per kg. And he is selling it for 45. And this is how he is making profit. And when I convey this to my parents at that time, because when they check into the rice, they are getting good quality because it is mixed only. Okay, not completely that mixed. I'm sorry. Okay, so the rice is mixed 50-50 format, like 1 kilogram of good quality and 1 kilogram of bad quality has been mixed here. So it is difficult to distinguish. Okay, this is just my imagination. Actually, he is mixing in the rate like 1:3 or something. That means if you take 1 kilogram of rice, 250 grams of bad quality, and that means cheap quality, and 750 grams of dearer quality or higher quality is there. So it is difficult to distinguish. Okay, and this is how they are making profit by selling these kinds of loose quantities. I'm not mentioning about everyone. So in this chapter, we are dealing with these kinds of malpractices actually. Okay. But sometimes it will be a necessary evil also. Sometimes it will be a necessary evil. Okay. So because in some sort of time we need to do this way because for mixing of alloys and all those things. So science is making use of this particular chapter. Okay. Mixing alloys and creating new metals and everything. So this particular one is having different positive values. So for harnessing the positive values of this particular one, we are going to learn this chapter. So I will show you what is alligation formula. So name of this chapter is mixtures and alligations. So we are going to learn alligation formula. So alligation formula is like this. We can just learn it through a graphical method or a drawing like over here. So we have a cheaper quality. We are going to mix it with a dearer quality. So cheaper will be having a certain amount and dearer will be having cheaper particular rupees, dear particular rupees, and we just mix them to get a mean. So mean is a certain another rupees. So we are mixing. This is quantity of cheaper area. This is quantity of dearer area. After mixing the ratio, so it will be like dearer will be higher value. So this is dearer minus mean, and this is mean minus cheaper. Okay. So quantity of cheaper by quantity of dearer will be like D minus M by M minus C. While solving a question, you will be getting a better idea on this. While solving a question, you will be definitely getting a better idea. Now you can copy this. Quantity of cheaper, quantity of dearer. Quantity of cheaper by quantity of dearer, that is equal to D minus M by M minus C. So let's try a question. So the price of a variety of a commodity is rupees 5 per kg. and that of another is rupees 8 per kg. So the ratio in which two varieties should be mixed so that the price is rupees 7 per kg will be. Okay, go ahead. The price of a variety of a commodity is going to be mixed. So let me draw that figure. Cheaper, dearer. And this is mean. And this is dearer minus mean. And this is mean minus cheaper, because mean will be larger here. So this is quantity of cheaper area and this is quantity of dearer. So we have the formula quantity of cheaper by quantity of dearer, that is equal to D minus M by M minus C. So now comes to this question. So we have a cheaper quantity, rupees 5. And there is no need to write C over here. If you wish, you can write C here and D here. There is no rule like that. Okay. At that time, just flip the figure. That's enough. So 5, 8. And the mean is 7. So here 8 minus 7, because this is cheaper, this is dearer. So quantity of cheaper and quantity of dearer are coming in this way. So over here, and this is 7 minus 5. So you can find that this is 1, this is 2. So quantity of cheaper by quantity of dearer will be equal to 1 by 2. Or you can write quantity of cheaper is to quantity of dearer, that is equal to 1 is to 2. Hope you guys get an idea through this question. Okay. I'm assuming you may get an idea through this question. So let's try another question, because this is 1 is to 2. And I just solved this question for an understanding of the formula. So now you can solve. One second. So now you guys can solve this question. How many kilogram of rice costing rupees 18.30 per kg must be mixed with a 126 kilogram of rice costing 8.55. So actually we have quantity of cheaper over here. Okay, mixed with the 126 kilogram of rice costing 8.55 per kg. So that 20% may be gained by selling the mixture at 14.40 per kg. So during my second session, okay, part 2 of arithmetics, Nata sprint part 4, I think that part 2 of arithmetics is there. In that, I had discussed the chapter profit and loss. In that particular chapter, I had discussed this selling price in a very detailed manner. So you can refer that videos. So over here, how many kilogram of rice costing 18.30 per kg? Okay, 18.30 per kg must be mixed with the 126 kilogram of rice costing 8.55 per kg. So this is 8.55 cheaper, and this is 18.30 per kg, and this is dearer, and we need to mix. We don't know the mean. That is the first issue. We will find it. Okay, we don't know the mean. That is the first issue. And over here, we have the quantity of cheaper, that is 126 kg. Okay. But we don't have the quantity of dearer. That is what we need to find. And 2 legs. Only after finding mean, we can fill this. So what is a mean? So mean is the cost price. Okay. Here the mean is the cost price. That means the amount he need to spend to make the mixture, per kg mixture. The amount he need to spend to create per kg mixture. So over here, 14.40 is the selling price. So selling price is profit, sorry, cost price plus profit. That is cost price plus profit percentage into cost price. So simply over here, 14.40 is 100% of cost price plus 20% of cost price. That is a profit, isn't it? So this is 120% of cost price. That is equal to 14.40. That is equal to 14.40. So 14.40 equals 120 by 100 into cost price. Now it is easy. So it is 14.40 into 100 by 120. So solving this, you will be getting it like 12. So we got the value of mean. It is 12. Take the difference. 8.30 minus 12. Okay. That is 4.3. 8.30 minus 12. That is 4.3. So 12 minus 8.55. That is 3.45. Okay. So sorry. This is 6.30. So 6.30. Actually over here, quantity of cheaper by quantity of dearer. That is equal to 6.30 divided by 3.45. In other words, 6.30 by 3.45. You can write like 630 divided by 345. Okay, 630 divided by 345. And we have the value of quantity of cheaper. That is 126 kg. Okay, you can substitute here. We want to find quantity of dearer. So let me reduce the size of all these things for getting some space for. So just reduce to the sides. So over here, quantity of cheaper, that is 126 by quantity of dearer, that is 630 by 345. So quantity of dearer will be like 126 into 345 divided by 630. Okay, so now you can easily cancel 126 and 630. Okay, so over here 126 by 630. So double of 63 is 126. Okay, so this is, you will be getting a 5 here. 126 into 5, that is 630. So 5 by 345 is the answer. So 34, 6 times. 45, 9 times. Quantity of dearer, that is 69 kilogram. I angel good. Option B, 69 kilogram is the right answer. Now we can mix some milk and water. So milk and water, I'll be telling you the method for solving these kinds of questions. So milk and water, I'll filled in P and Q in the ratio 4:1 and 5:2 respectively. So in the P, the ratio is 5:2. This is milk, this is water. And in the Q, it is filled in the ratio, I'm sorry. So milk and water, in the P, it is in the ratio 4:1. And in the Q, it is in the ratio 5:2. Okay, so milk and water, 4:1 and 5:2. So over here, we want the mixture, that is a mean. We want the mixture, that is a mean, in the ratio 7:2. So for these kinds of questions, we can solve it in terms of water or in terms of milk. So in this question, I'm going to solve in the terms of milk. So what is the quantity of milk here? So whenever a ratio comes, add it. 4 plus 1, 5. Out of 5, 4 is milk. Out of 7, in the Q, out of 7, 5 is milk. So in the mean, what we want? Out of 9, we want 7 parts milk. So we just converted the entire question into milk and water terms. We just converted the entire question into milk and water terms. So we are going to mix P and Q. So P is 4/5 milk. Q is 5/7 milk. We are going to mix it to get it in the ratio 7/9. This is the mean we are expecting. So quantity of P comes here. Quantity of Q comes here. So quantity of P by quantity of Q, that is what we are going to find. So first of all, 5/7 and 7/9. Subtract smaller from larger. So we don't know who is larger or smaller here. So we are writing here. So this is 7/9. So just take the product. 7 into 7, 49. 9 into 5, 45. The larger value is 7 into 9. So just subtract 5/7 from 7/9. So this is 49 minus 45 divided by 9 into 7. Simply keep it. We can cancel that later. So this is 49 minus 45 divided by 9 into 7. Next, 4/5 and 7/9. Who is the largest? This is 36. This is 35. So 4/5 is the largest one. So it is like 36 minus 35 divided by 9 into 5. Keep it like that. 1/9 into 5. Now the ratio. Quantity of P is to quantity of Q. You can write like, so I'm sorry, 49 minus 45. Simply write 4. So it is like 4/9 into 7 is to 1/9 into 5. Now you can easily cancel. 9, 9. Cross multiply. 4 into 5, 20. Cross it. 1 into 7, 7. So 20:7 is the right answer. And using the exact same method, we can do one more question. Okay. Using the exact same method. So mixing milk and water once again. Try this question. So this is simply 8:3. The ratio of milk and water in the vessel is 8:3. In another vessel, it is 4:5. In what ratio must the mixture from each of the pots be mixed to make their ratio 7:6 in the new mixture? Okay, in the new mixture, in what ratio they need to mix it? Q. Mix it. So the ratio of milk and water is over here. So over here, as like the previous question, the ratio of water and, so this is can 1 or vessel 1. This is can 2. You can take like this. So can 1, you can take, we are doing it in milk terms. So this is 8/11. Okay. So in the can 1, 8/11 is milk. And the can 2, 4/9, that is milk. Okay. So we need to mix it. And we need to get like 7/13 milk. Okay, this is a mean what we want. Now complex solving steps. So 7/13 minus 4/9. So 9 into 7. 9 into 7, that is 63. Okay, 9 into 7, 63. 13 into 4, 26/52. So 63 minus 52 is equal to 63 minus 52 divided by 13 into 9. Keep that like that. We will be coming back to that later. So 63 minus 52, we can solve it now. that is 7 into 9. 7 into 9, 63. Okay, fine. 13, 26, 52. So 63 minus 52, that is 11. 11 divided by 13 into 9. Okay, so the leg is like we had done 7 by 13 minus 4 by 9. So 11 divided by 13 into 9. Okay, we'll be keeping it over here. Similarly, coming over here, 8 by 11 minus 7 by 13. So 8 into 13. 8 into 13, that is 104. Okay, so this is 104. And 11, that is 77. So over here, 104 minus 77 divided by 11 into 3. Sorry, 13. So 104 minus 77, that is 727. Okay, so 27 divided by 11 into 13. So can 1 is to can 2. Can 1 is to can 2. That is 11 by 13 into 9 is to 27 by 11 into 13. So you can cancel this 13 13s. So it is like 11 into 11 is to 27 into 9. So 27 into 9, that is 27 into 10 is 270. 270 minus 27, that is 243. So it is 121 is to 243. Option A. Okay. Option A. So this is another type of question you can expect it in mixtures and alligation. So let's try another question of mixtures. So that is mixing of 2. 1 second. One more question we need to solve. So we will be discussing one more question from mixtures and alligation. That is just simply mixing it. Okay, anyway, we will be discussing that question by the next session if possible. Okay, anyway, we had come across similar questions. So I think you can practice all these questions and you can refer to our videos. It is available in our YouTube channel through the playlist. And now Nishitha ma'am has joined. So she will be taking from here onwards. Ma'am, you can take from here onwards. Students are ready.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good evening all. Welcome to today's live session. I am architect Nishitha Joshi and I'm a conservation architect. I am an alumnus of SPA Bhopal and I'm a faculty of architectural awareness at THiNC Institute of Design. You have been knowing me since weeks. I've been conducting multiple live sessions on the topic architectural awareness for JEE Paper 2 and Nata, these two competitive exams for architecture entrance. So you're well aware with me. So I don't think I have to give any more introduction of mine. Instead, I should straight up go to the topics that we're going to discuss in today's live session. As you know that in each live session, we discuss different topics. We try to talk about different topics that are important parts of syllabus of NATA. We dissect these topics, what kind of questions can come regarding these topics. How can you prepare? Which are the important things that you should keep in mind before going to write your exam? We discuss on all such matters, and today's class is not going to be any less. Today also we are going to discuss some very important, very crucial topics related to NATA. And this class is going to be about multiple topics. A mix of different topics will be discussed in this session. Apart from that, apart from these discussion on these topics, I will also be sharing some questions with you. These questions are the ones that have been asked in the previous years in NATA exam. And these questions will also be related to the topics that we are going to discuss today. So there are two benefits. First of all, you get to see some exclusive previous year questions that have come in NATA in 2021, 2 and 2023. And also you also get to know, you get to understand about what kind of questions come from particular topics in NATA. So the main topics that we're going to discuss in today's session are elements of design, principles of design, and color theory. And then we're going to discuss some questions regarding these very same topics. I will also be giving a brief revision about parts of a building if we get some time at the end. That is one topic that we've already covered at length before, but there was some request to discuss this topic again. So if we get time, we will also discuss parts of a building. So without any further ado, let me just share my screen with you all and let's start with today's discussion on architectural awareness. I also urge you to write, comment in the comment section. And if you have any doubts or queries, you can also ask those through the comments in this YouTube live. I will also be asking some basic questions in between, and I expect you all to respond in the comment section while you're looking at this video. So let's just deep dive into it. So this topic is known as theory of design. We're going to discuss the basics of theory of design. This is an elaborate subject that is discussed in architecture school in the first year or maybe second year in different universities. But this is something that you learn in architecture school as well. Creating a base is very important before you join university, before you join architecture school. That is why this topic is a crucial part of your NATA syllabus. Now, when we talk about theory of design, two things come to our mind instantly, two major things. Now, I'm going to discuss everything in a short manner. It will be a quick discussion. If you want to have this discussion in detail with me, you have to join our online crash batches. But in this session, I'll give you a brief introduction of each of these. Okay. So there are two basic things when I talk about design. First one is elements of design and second one is principles of design. You can understand that these are two guiding tools or basic tools that you need if you have to design nicely, if you have to design effectively, you have to design, you have to use elements of design and principles of design. Now look at these two as two separate entities. Okay. Elements of design are like a cell in human body. These are the basic, these are the fundamental blocks of design. The most basic or smallest things that you require to make any type of design, that is elements in design. When I talk about principles, principles are slightly bigger. Comparatively, they have more material or more personality to them. When I talk about elements, these are just simple tools that you can as it is pick up and use in your design. And without at least one of these tools, making a design is not possible. Whereas when I talk about principles, principles are more like concepts. They're more like ideas that you can incorporate to make your design more effective. So some examples of lines are of elements are mentioned on your screen. There are so many more elements apart from these as well. Elements are the fundamental units of design, fundamental tools of design to create an effective composition. It can be applied to all types of designs. Some examples of elements of design are line, value, color, texture, shape, size, direction. Now you can see that all of these things are such that you require at least one or maybe more of them to create any sort of composition. You require some basic shapes. If not shapes, you require at least lines, and the simplest or most basic element of design is a point or a dot. Many points or many dots can also be used to create a great composition like we do in stippling art or dot art. We use many different number of points or dots to create a full composition. So these are some elements of design. and they are the fundamental requirement for creating any composition, any painting, artwork, or any design for a building or a space. Now, next is principles of design. These are comparatively more complex. They can also be applied to all forms of art like painting, music, dance, literature, and of course, space design or architectural design. Now, these principles can be made by uniting or combining one or more elements. Some principles can also be made by combining other principles of design. And these principles are concepts or ideas that, when applied to a design, it elevates the quality of the composition or design. Some principles of design, some of the examples are unity, when everything, all elements are united. Then conflict, when everything is contrasting or opposite to each other. Then dominance, when some part of the design is being dominant. Then repetition, attention, meaning attention is given to some parts or one part of the design. Then harmony, when everything is in peace with each other. Then balance and gradation. Gradation means growing shorter, bigger in size or quality. So these are some of the examples of principles of design. There are so many more apart from this, so many that I've left out from this one, but we'll discuss them as we go ahead. So let's start a quick discussion on elements. As I've already told you, these elements are fundamental building blocks. They are required, or they are great tools for creating a strong dynamic visual layout. The designer uses these elements as tools to control how a message is delivered through any design or composition. These principles can be applied to fine arts, space design, architecture, interiors, photography, product design, graphic designing, etc. So as I have already told you, the most basic kind of element is a point. A point or mark is the smallest and most basic element of design. These can vary in size, value, regularity, or irregularity, and can be used alone or as a unit in a group, which forms a line or shape in the image. So when you look at these different points, when you look at these 5 examples, you will see that how, with the use of multiple number of points, a strong, very strong composition can be created. When you look at the first box, there are 5 examples on your screen. When you look at the first box, you will notice that a single point has been used, but that does not mean that it is not giving any message. This single point represents a visual stop. As you can see, a rectangle or a square is used around it to restrict the subject area. The point at the center immediately takes all the focus of the eye at the center and does not let you look elsewhere. So that acts as a visual holder that holds your eye at a particular space. Now, when you look at the next composition, this next composition, number 2, has 2 points. The 2 points represent direction. It makes the eye move away from the broader border and move back and forth between these 2 points. Now look at the third one. When you look at this box, you will see 3 points, and these points are placed in the form of a triangle in this composition. So this one here makes a closed path. 3 points makes the eye move in a closed path. They signify somewhat like a shape. Then fourth one has points or dots arranged in a different manner as the first 3. The unique arrangement of these dots creates a directional path for the eye to move on. Now, number 5th, the eye jumps from one part to the other because of the random arrangement of dots. However, the dense area is able to gain more attention than the rest. Now, this is about the last one, the 5th composition. In the 5th one, you will see that the points are scattered, and they're not scattered in a particular format, but rather they are randomly scattered. But still, some part of this composition has denser points and some other has very scanty points or dots. So all of these mean different things. From this, you can understand that even a simple point or a dot is so powerful and can create so much meaning, or can give so much meaning to a composition. Let's move ahead. Let's look at the other elements of design. So as I've told you that some more elements of design include lines. On your screen, you can see different types of lines. All these lines signify different things, and the different types of lines are used to represent different things. One of the most important element of design, line, defines a subject's form or shape on a flat 2D surface. Lines can be thick or thin, smooth or jagged, rigid and mechanical, or organic and hand-drawn. The quality of a line has the ability to express psychological characteristics of a composition to an audience. Now, another important element of design is color. Right now, I'm not going to discuss color in detail because this is one thing that we will discuss further on in today's live session. Color will be a separate topic. For now, you can just understand that color is also an element of design that elevates any composition. Next is texture and pattern. When you look at these four images, you can see different types of textures and patterns. Now, here I'm not talking about actual texture or actual pattern. But here I'm talking about visual texture and visual pattern, what you can see from your eyes in any design. Pattern is often associated with printed fabrics such as plaids, polka dots, and florals. As I have already told you, here we're talking about visual pattern and visual texture. So these are some of the different types of patterns that you can see in fabrics, upholstery, furniture, and sometimes also in the walls of buildings or different elements of buildings like balcony, railing, etc. So when we repeat a design over and over again, we create a pattern with it. That is the kind of pattern that I'm talking about here. Then after that, there is texture. Texture is a tactile quality of any surface. It can be actual or implied in two-dimensional form. So sometimes there is an actual texture, like we see in texture painted walls. We see in many different things. But here it is an implied texture which is created through some visual means. Texture can be rough or smooth, solid or porous, coarse or polished. Pattern and texture work together to create a sense of visual art. So here are some ways in which we can represent texture through drawings. This is something that can also help in your drawing section in Nata, where you have to show different things. Like in this second one, the second rendering technique, this represents wood. This is wooden, showing wooden texture. So similarly, all these different type of symbols, they represent textures of different things. We can show wool, fabric, different types of fabric, like cotton, silk, etc. through different rendering techniques in the form of texture. Now, next element of design is scale and proportion. Here, scale refers to the size of elements in any composition. Proportion is something that is decided or that is understood when we look at two or more things. So when we compare two or more things, the relative size of these two things decides the proportion. We cannot draw everything in actual size on paper. So we use these proportions to make uh, objects in a relatively more correct manner. Proportion refers to the relative size of objects in relation to each other. Now we're talking about size. Size only takes on meaning when compared to other objects of different sizes. Next element of design is direction. When I talk about direction as an element of design, the lines and forms that lead the viewer's eye through a composition are referred to as direction. Like you can see in this particular composition as well, here some different sized circles can be seen. On the bottom side, you can see a very large size circle, and as you go towards the top, the size of the circles reduces. Direction can help to create a flow of how information is processed. So through this, I mean, by using these elements and principles, any designer becomes so powerful that he or she can actually control how the eyes of a person will go from one part of the composition to other, because in this you have already decided a focal point. Obviously everyone's eyes will go to the largest circle first and then move upwards towards the small ones. The designer can decide how a viewer is going to look at his design. Okay, so now we have discussed a few of the elements of design. Now we are going to go ahead for towards principles of design. As I already told you that since we have very limited time, we are going to discuss everything very short. But if you want to know more about these, you have to join our online crash batches, where we discuss all of these things in great detail and we also clear your doubts. So next topic is principles of design. Now I've discussed before that principles of design are ideas and concepts that can elevate any design. The principles are concepts used to organize or arrange the structural elements of design. The way in which these principles are applied affects the expressive content or the message of the work that you're trying to showcase through your composition. Some examples are balance, proportion, rhythm, movement, emphasis or focal point, unity, variety, harmony, repetition, radiation, parallelism, distortion, foreground and background. So these are some of the principles of design, some of the examples that you can see to understand what I'm talking about. I'll give you examples of each. This will be very quick. If you have any doubts, you can ask them in the comment section. So the first principle of design that I want to discuss with you all is balance. Balance is of two types. First one is symmetrical balance and second one is asymmetrical balance. This means that a composition does not necessarily have to be symmetrical to be balanced. Asymmetric balance can also be achieved. That is not an issue. Not every composition is symmetrical on both the sides. But let's discuss about symmetrical balance first. I'll first start with balance. Balance is a psychological sense of equilibrium. So here we're talking about mental balance or visual balance in any composition or design. As a principle of design, balance places the parts of a visual in an aesthetically pleasing arrangement. In a composition, balance is formal when both sides are symmetrical in terms of arrangement, and it is informal when both the sides are not symmetrical. So you can see two examples of famous paintings on your screen. The first painting is The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. This painting represents or showcases the last meal that Jesus had with his 12 apostles before he was crucified. So this painting is all about symmetric balance. Symmetry is established when you can draw an imaginary line through any composition, and that imaginary line running from the center of the composition divides the composition into two symmetric portions. Here, when we divide this composition into two symmetric parts or two halves, so what happens is that the left side of the composition is a mirror image of the right side of the composition. That is known as symmetry. When two equal parts of any composition are both mirror images of each other. So this is what symmetrical balance means. Another example is Mona Lisa, a very famous painting by Leonardo da Vinci. In this painting, you will see that it is not exactly a mirror image, but somewhat a mirror image. There are some small features like the hands, like the tilt of Mona Lisa's body that are of course not exactly same, but visually when you look at it, it looks like a very well composed and very balanced composition. So this is also a good example of symmetric balance. Now let's go to asymmetric balance. Now, as I've already told you that balance can also be established when there is no symmetry in a composition. Then how can we ensure that balance will be there without a composition being symmetric? Balance is informal when sides are not exactly symmetrical, but the resulting image can still be balanced. Informal balance is more dynamic than formal balance and normally keeps the learner's attention focused on the visual message. So here for this, I have kept two examples. The first one is a very famous painting, The Starry Night, that was painted in 1889 by Vincent van Gogh. In this painting, you will see that many different types of elements have been used, but in no way possible this painting looks unbalanced. There is a sense of balance that has been created in this painting. Now I'll tell you how. When you look at the left hand side of this painting, just imagine a line going through the center of this painting. Just think of an imaginary line that is cutting this painting into two halves. When you look at the LHS, the left hand side of this painting, you will see that a large dark colored bush can be seen. This is a plant or a bush that covers most of the frame of the LHS. Now this is darker in color and this captures more attention on the left hand side. But still, this painting does not look disbalanced. How does this happen? Because when you look at the right side of the composition, when you look at the right side of this painting, what you can see is that many smaller elements have been used to create a sense of balance. On the LHS, only one large element is there, that is this plant. But on the right hand side, you can see the moon in its complete glory. You can see the winds becoming more stronger as it goes to the right side. Then you can see the snow-capped mountains. You can see many trees above the houses, and there are n number of houses showing a town or a city on the right hand side. So all of these multiple elements on the right hand side balance the bigger element on the left hand side. So this shows how by smartly using different elements or how by smartly using color, you can balance any equation without it being symmetrical as well. Now, another example is this second painting by Kandinsky. Kandinsky was also a very famous painter. This painting is known as Composition 8. Here you can see the use of you can see the use of many different shapes. Here you can see the use of basic shapes like semicircles, triangles, rectangles, and of course circles. This composition is also understood to be balanced because when you look at this one, you will see that although there is a very dark and highlighting element on the left hand side, there are so many intense and very intricate, tiny and densely composed elements on the right hand side that it balances out the one large object on the left. So these are two good examples that can explain asymmetric balance very well. Now I'll go to rhythm. Rhythm is the repetition of visual movement of the elements. It can be movement of colors, showcasing movement by colors, shapes, lines, values, forms, spaces, and textures. Now, here we are just talking about visual movement. We're not talking about actual movement. But wherever there is rhythm, some sort of movement can be seen in the composition, meaning there is no stagnancy. Variety is essential to keep rhythms exciting and active and to avoid monotony. Movement and rhythm work together to create the visual equivalent of a musical beat. So you can look at two compositions on your screen. Again, there are two different paintings. The first one is a painting known as Rhythm, created in 1912 by Robert Delaunay, a famous artist. In this one, you can see that many circles have been used, circles and semicircles. Now, these circles have been colored in such a manner that when we look at them, they look very dynamic. In this composition, nothing looks stagnant or nothing looks still. There is so much movement that we can see in this composition that automatically a sense of dynamism or a sense of rhythm is instilled in us by looking at this one. Because of the vibrant colors, it can be for a variety of reasons. Okay, the first reason can be the use of these circles. Circles in itself are dynamic shapes, they don't have any edges or corners, so the movement of eye is not restricted at any point in a circle. Now here they have used concentric circles. In these concentric circles, they have used very bright and different type of colors. So all of these things get together and they form, combining, they form a sense of visual movement in this composition in return leading to rhythm. I've already told you in the beginning that there are some principles of design that can be made by using other principles of design. So rhythm is a combination of movement and of variety and some other principles of design. Now look at the second composition. This is known as the Great Tree. It is painted by an artist called Piet Mondrian. Now, when I look at this, it is a dried tree. Okay, this is a dead tree without any leaves. But still, the tree does not look very dead to me. The tree still looks lively because of the way in which it has been painted. The artist has created this dried tree in such a beautiful manner that there is so much life still remaining in it. Because of the strokes, kind of strokes that he has used, and he has only used two colors, that is black and gray, to create this composition, but just by using these very dull and very basic colors actually, um, but the kind of strokes that he has used, the kind of lines that he has drawn, the curves that he has used, the intertwining and mingling of the branches, everything makes a composition which looks very much alive. And the tree does not look dead to me at all. This is because he has created some sense of visual movement in this composition, creating a sense of rhythm in it. Now, next one is movement. The way the artist leads the eye of an audience around and through a composition is known as visual movement. The path the eye follows, motion or movement in a visual message occurs when objects seem to be moving in a visual image. Movement in a visual image comes from the different kinds of usage of shapes, forms, lines, and curves. Again, you can see two examples. The first example is known as the rotating snakes. It was designed by an artist called Kitauka in 2003. Now, when you look at this, an illusion has been created. Just look at the black dots at the center. Look at any one black dot in this composition. When you look at these black dots, you will feel like the concentric circles around these black dots are all moving in a particular fashion, in a particular pattern. The painting is not moving at all. It is a very stationary 2D painting, but the way in which they have created it, the way in which they have placed the colors in these concentric circles, uh, an illusion is created which tells us that it is moving in concentric manner. So this is the kind of elusive movement that an artist can instill in a composition. This tells you that how powerful a designer or an artist is, that he can create such a kind of an illusion just by making a 2D painting. Now look at the next example. This example is known as Ballet Probe, and it was painted by an artist called Edgar Degas in 1873. Now in this painting, Edgar has created so much, he has instilled so much personality in this painting. So much is going on in this room. It is the scene of a ballet class actually. When you look at the architecture of this room, when you look at these tall French windows with the semicircular arches on the top, and when you look at the flooring, the large hall, everything, the architecture has a lot of personality. There's so much to see in terms of architecture, and then the view that you can see outside the windows and all of that. Apart from that, when you look at these little girls who are little ballerinas, look at their bodily movements, the kind of activities that they are doing. Someone is dressing up, someone is stretching, someone is looking at others. There are some who are practicing their dance routine. There is a man who's a violinist who's playing a violin for these girls so that they can practice. So much is going on in this room. Your eyes automatically move from one element of the painting to other without stopping at any focal point. So in this painting, there's no focal point. Everything is equally important, because of which your eye keeps on going from one element to other element. So these are two different ways in which you can represent movement in any composition. Now this is emphasis. Emphasis is also a very important principle of design. Emphasis is used by artists to create dominance and focus in their work. Artists can emphasize color, value, shapes, or other art elements to achieve dominance. Various kinds of contrast can be used to emphasize a center of interest. Again, I have kept two examples to explain emphasis. The first example is an extremely famous painting by Vermeer known as Girl with Pearl Earrings. Here, first of all, he has created emphasis, he has ensured emphasis onto the girl by creating a black background. When the background is black, there is actually nothing left to see in the background. So automatically your focus will go on the girl. Now, when you look at the girl, her face has a very beautiful essence to it. The kind of clothes that she is wearing, there's a drape going around her head. All of these elements are very beautiful and striking. But when you look at her earring, there's a pearl earring that she is wearing that is glowing, so glossy and so eye-catching that automatically the emphasis again goes to the pearl earring that the girl is wearing. So here there are 2 points of emphasis. First point of emphasis is the girl herself. And when you look at the girl nicely, the entire emphasis goes to the earring that she is wearing. And thus the name of the painting is also related to this only. So it is an extremely good example of emphasis. Now the other example is a very famous painting by Michelangelo where he shows how God created the first man in the world, that is Adam. According to Christian mythology, Adam was the first man to walk the earth. So this is how God has created and left Adam on earth. He came with all of his angels to the earth and then left Adam there to be the first man walking on earth. So here you can see the shift of emphasis from God and his angels to Adam, who's going to be the first man ever to walk on earth. This is a very beautiful painting, both of them actually, that talk about emphasis in art and design. Now, next principle of design is harmony. Harmony can be established in two ways actually. The first way in which we can showcase harmony is by unity, and the second way in which we can showcase harmony is by variety. Harmony means peace, and harmony can be established in design when all elements of a composition are together with each other in some understanding or some sort of peace. So there are two different ways in which we can establish harmony. Let's look at the first one, that is unity. Look at the first composition that has yellow circles. Here you will see many yellow circles are there. Here the color is same, that represents unity, but the size of the circles is different, that represents variety. So here you can see how there is variety in unity as well. Now look at the next one, the second composition. Here the size of all the circles is same. So the same size represents the unity, but the variety is showcased by the different use of colors. So in a similar manner, by either using unity or variety or both, you can establish harmony. Harmony in visual design means all parts of the visual image relate to and complement each other. Harmony pulls all the different pieces of a design or a visual image together. Harmony can be achieved through repetition and rhythm as well. Patterns or shapes can also help in achieving harmony. By repeating patterns in an interesting arrangement, the overall visual image comes together. Now, harmony is one of the principles of design that is most commonly used in logo design. Logo designers are the ones who have used harmony to its optimum. You can see two examples on your screen. The first one is the design of a logo. Here, two shapes and two colors have been used, and an interesting pattern or design has been created, establishing harmony that creates the logo for a company. Now, when you look at the second composition here, four images are drawn in black and yellow. The first one shows good harmony because there you can see balance. There you can see right proportions and right usage of different colors, creating a sense of harmony. Now, in the other two, you can see lack of harmony because there the proportion is not correct, or the usage of shapes that are there is not in sync with each other. Now, next principle of design is repetition. Repetitions can all mostly be seen in pattern designing in architecture or any kind of art or design. Repetition is the use of same thing, element, or design more than once, and it can also be in different locations. It is the simplest and most fundamental of all design principles and is the building block of other principles. Now, why is it simplest? Because it is the simplest to achieve, simplest to most easy to make, because here you're just taking one element or one design and you're constantly repeating it or rearranging it to create a pattern. Repetition helps to tie individual elements together. Okay, now there is with this we come to the end of principles of design. As I've already told you, there are so many other principles of design, but because of paucity of time, discussing everything is not possible. So you do some homework, read more about principles of design. You will find so many more. There are so many others like foreground, background, focal point, etc., which we have not discussed. Please go through them. Now there is something known as the golden mean or the golden ratio. The golden mean is a relationship between sizes that is pleasing to the human eye. This concept was first formally recognized by the ancient Greeks, and examples of the golden mean can be observed through Greek artwork and architecture. Greek style of architecture is a very famous style which has so many elements that are inspirational for us even in today's time in architecture. So there, the use of golden mean can be first seen. This principle of golden mean is based on the Fibonacci sequence. Now you will ask me, what is Fibonacci? Fibonacci was actually the second name of a man. He was a mathematician who recognized this concept that was existing in the nature. Fibonacci actually created a number sequence. This number sequence denotes proportions in design. The Fibonacci sequence has the following numbers. These are 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, etc. Each number in this series is the sum of the two numbers preceding it. As 2 is the first number, it is the sum of 1 plus 1. Then 3 is the sum of 1 plus 2. 5 is the sum of 2 plus 3. 13 is the sum of 5 plus 8. 55 is the sum of 21 plus 34. So in the same manner, each number in this sequence will be a sum of the previous two numbers. Now, why is this mean or why is this Fibonacci sequence important? It is believed that everything in the universe has been created on the basis of this golden mean. It can be a flower. It can be the arrangement of petals of the flower. It can be leaves in a tree. It can be stars or planets in the galaxy, or anything else that exists in the nature. Everything is created on the basis of this same number sequence, that is Fibonacci sequence. It is also one of the most elemental building blocks found in nature. The golden mean appears in everything from atomic structures to galaxies. Graphic designers can use these proportions to create work that instinctively looks right. Here are some more examples. Now, an interesting thing about this, when you divide each number by the previous number, you will always get the same answer, that is 1.618. You can also try it if you divide any number. For example, 34. If you divide it with the previous number, that is 21, the answer will be 1.618. Okay, now we come to the last topic that we're going to discuss in today's live session. Again, this is a very important topic. This is essential for two topics for preparation for Nata. First one is, of course, composition, where you get questions related to drawing or logo design or composition design. There also you can use the knowledge that you gain from this topic. And of course, every or many questions are there that are related to color theory in Nata. So why is color important? Why is color so important in design? Color actually gives a lot of personality to any space, to any sort of design or any composition, be it 2D or 3D. Color gives out some message, and color is a means of non-verbal communication. Sometimes we are not able to say something, but we try to communicate it through different means. So colors are a form of non-verbal communication that give out messages. So here we are specifically going to talk about architecture. Okay, we're going to talk about buildings in this discussion. So different types of messages can be given through the right usage of color in any space. I think you've already studied the color, how color comes and how it is created in school in 11th and 12th. I don't need to repeat refraction for you, I'm sure. So let's straight up go to the different types of colors. Here we are going to talk about the different types of colors that are present in nature. What you see on your screen is a color wheel. There are 12 colors present in the color wheel. These 12 colors remain stagnant. The colors cannot be changed with any other color. These are the only 12 colors that will always be there in the color wheel. These are 12 colors that occur naturally. And these colors have three different types of groups. Now the spaces of like red, blue and yellow, they can interchange their places, but the colors will always be same in the color wheel, and you need to memorize these colors and you need to know the position of each color in the color wheel. So as I told you, the colors are segregated in three different ways. As you can see here, there are three types of colors in the color wheel. The first one is the primary colors, then there is secondary colors, then there is tertiary colors. And these three colors have fixed positions in the color wheel. There are three primary colors in the color wheel, that is red, yellow and blue. There are three secondary colors, purple, orange and green. And there are 6 tertiary colors. Now, how do we achieve these colors? How are they made? First of all, there are 3 primary colors in the color wheel, red, yellow, and blue. They are naturally occurring colors. No one can create them. We get them as it is. So these 3 colors will be placed far away from each other in the form of a triangle. Okay. Now, when we start mixing these colors, we get some more colors. When one primary color is mixed with another primary color, then we achieve a secondary color. A good example of this is red plus yellow. We get a secondary color that is placed at the center of these two colors, that is orange. So here you can see red, here you can see yellow. We combine these two, we get a new color that is orange, that is placed at the center of these two. Another example can be blue and red. We mix these two, we get purple, which is placed at the center of these two. So in this manner, colors are added in the color wheel. Now, when we combine one primary color with one secondary color, then we get a tertiary color. Example, when we combine red with orange, we get a tertiary color which is known as red-orange. That you can see at the center of these two. Another example, we combine orange with yellow. Here orange is the secondary color and yellow is the primary color. We get a new color, that is yellow-orange, that is located at the center of these two. So in this manner, we get the colors. Primary colors are already existing, that is red, yellow, and blue. We get a secondary color when we mix two primary colors, and we get a tertiary color when we mix one primary and one secondary color. So I have a question for you now. If I mix when I mix one primary color, that is blue, with one secondary color, that is green, what is the color that we get? Answer this in the comments and I'll check your answer. So I hope by now you have understood how do we get primary colors, what are secondary colors, and what are tertiary colors. This makes 3 primary colors in the color wheel, red, yellow, and blue. 3 secondary colors, that is orange, purple, and green, and 6 tertiary colors, that is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and red, purple. These are the 6 tertiary colors in the color wheel. Now I have a short exercise for you. Just look at this red dot. Keep staring at this red dot until I ask you to close your eyes. At that point, you will shut your eyes. Keep looking now. Keep looking. Okay, now shut your eyes. Now open it. What color do you see? You do not see red anymore. You see a different color. You see a color that is green. Now, why did this happen? Why did you see green after red? Your eyes and brain cells have absorbed one color, that is red. Now your brain, once you open your eyes, tries to balance that out with a complement of the color red, that is green. So to balance out that red color, your brain has seen green color on the screen. This brings us to some color combinations. Color combinations are an important part of usage of colors. How do we know which are the colors that can be combined together to make a great composition that will secure us more marks or that will create a great looking space or a beautiful design? So for that, we need to understand these different color combinations. The first one is complementary colors. Complementary colors are those colors in a color wheel that are directly across from each other in position or that are directly opposite to each other. You have already seen one example of red and green. Green is exactly opposite to the color red in color wheel. That is why these two are the complements of each other. That is why in the beginning I was saying that you need to know the position of these colors because otherwise you will never be able to make these color combinations. So remember these positions of the color very nicely. Another example is of blue and orange. Blue and orange, these two colors are exactly opposite to in the color wheel. So they are a pair of complementary colors. Another example is of purple and yellow. Now I have a question for you. What is the complementary color combination of red orange? Please answer in the comment section. Next color combination is a triad. There are 2 triads in the color wheel. Triad means a group of 3 colors. The first triad has 3 primary colors. It is known as the primary triad as it has the 3 primary colors red, yellow, and blue. The second one is known as the secondary triad as it has the 3 secondary colors present in the color wheel, that is orange, green, and purple. So this means that there are only 2 triads in color wheel, no other triad apart from this. Please don't get confused. Only 2 triads, that is primary triad and secondary triad. Okay, other color combination is split complementary triad. Again, it is a group of 3 colors, but here the word complementary comes. So it has something to do with the previous combination of complementary colors, but here the name is different. It is split complementary. So it would mean something different. So split complementary colors are a combination of three. So what we will do is, first of all, we need to have one color in our mind, of which we have to find the other two split complements. So red can be my initial color. Now I have to find the split complements of red. So what I will do, I will look at the color right opposite to red, that is green. Now after green, look at the two colors on either adjacent sides of the complement. So look at the adjacent sides of green. You will see turquoise, that is blue-green, and you will see yellow-green. These two colors are the split complements of red. So when you have to find the split complement of any color, just look at the color exactly opposite to it, and then ignore that and look at the two adjacent colors. So these three will form a split complementary triad. I will give you another example of blue. If I have to find the split complementary colors of blue, I will look at the color opposite to blue, that is orange. Now look at the two adjacent colors to orange, that is red orange and yellow orange. So red orange, yellow orange and blue, these three will form a split complementary color combination or color triad. This is other color combination known as analogous colors. Analogous colors are the colors right next to each other in the color wheel. Again, this is a combination of three colors. It is a triad, but these are colors that are not opposite. In fact, they are adjacent to each other or next to each other. So each color can have three possible combinations for analogous colors. Let me take the example of red. When I look at red, the analogous colors along with red can either be the two colors on right of red, it can be two colors on left of red, or one on right and one in the left. Like here in this example, they have taken two colors on the right side of red. So red, red orange and orange. These are the three analogous colors. Another example is of blue. So for the blue one, they have taken one on the left and one on the right. So here the analogous triad will be blue, blue purple and blue green. In the same manner, you can take any two colors on the left of the main color, two colors on the right of the main color, or the two adjacent colors on either sides. So in this way, every color will have three possible analogous color combinations. Now next is shades and tints. We can expand our color palette by using shades and tints of colors. So by now you must be thinking that why are there only 12 colors in the color wheel? What about all the other colors that we have? So this is how we get all the other colors, by creating the shades and tints of these very 12 colors. Apart from these 12 colors, there are two more naturally occurring colors, that is black and white. We cannot create them. They are available to us. And by using these two colors, that is black and white, we create many shades and tints of the same color. Any pure color is known as a hue, like red, blue, green, they are all hues. We can create tints of any hue by adding different quantities of white to that color. If I want to create a tint of red color, I will keep on mixing small amounts of white portion by portion, and I will get different shades of red that will be lighter than the actual color because I am mixing white. When I have to create a shade of red, then what I'll do, I'll keep on mixing black. I'll mix small amounts of black and get different shades of red leading up to maroon or brown. So in this manner, you can take any color from the color wheel and you can create a shade and tint of that color. Because of shade and tints, we get one color combination that is known as a monochromatic color combination. This is a color combination composed of one hue with any number of its corresponding tints and shades. So here the main color or hue is blue that you can see right at the center. And this is the pure color hue. And on the right, you can see all the tints of blue, and on the left, you can see all shades of blue. And by using these different tints and shades, this room has been composed. When you look at the image at the bottom, you will see that the floor The wallpaper, the painting, the articles that are there in the room, everything has been used which is of blue color. Even the frame of the painting is blue. So these are different tints and shades of blue that have been used in this interior of the room. So in this manner, monochromatic color combination can be made using any color. In 2021 Nata, one question was there, how many colors are used in a monochromatic color combination? What will be the answer to that? Please tell me. The answer will be 1. Mono, the word itself means 1. The monochromatic color scheme will be a color scheme where one color will be taken and its different tints and shades will be used. Okay, now we are nearing towards the end of this live session. So before that, I want to show you a few practice questions that are related to the topics that we have discussed in today's session. Okay, this is the first one. Look at this composition. This is a very common type of question that used to come in Nata until last year. You have to choose any 4 most appropriate principles or elements of design which can be commonly observed in the given image. Look at this image carefully. The marks will only be given to you if you choose all 4 options correctly. And in these type of questions, there is a possibility that more than 4 options are correct to confuse you. From those correct options, you can choose any 4. Look at this carefully. There is a green background. There is a same type of shape that has been repeated again and again. The intensity of lines is different. Some lines are thin, some lines are thick. Now I'll show you the options. These are the options. First one is complementary colors. You have just learned what complementary colors are. Complementary colors are a pair of 2 colors which are right opposite to each other in the color wheel. Then datum, symmetry, intersections, line weight. Line weight means thickness of line, changing thicknesses of line. Then rhythm, you already know rhythm. Hierarchy, hierarchy means like there is hierarchy in school and colleges and offices. Even at home, there is someone who is the head of the family. Then you go lower and lower. Similarly, there is a hierarchy in design as well, showcasing the most important element to the least important element. Then asymmetry and repetition. Here there are 5 correct answers, A, D, E, H, I. So you can choose any 4 out of these 5 to gain full marks in this examination. Okay, this is the other example. Here 4 panels are there. These 4 panels connect to create one composition. Please look at this carefully. So these are the options: contrast, pattern, rhythm, intersection, progression, static. Static means stagnant, no movement. Then shape, depth. Here we're talking about visual depth. That like you can see that it's going deep. And order. There are 5 correct options here as well. As I told you, there can be more than 4 correct options. The correct ones are A, contrast, B, pattern, C, rhythm, E, progression, as the lines are progressing towards some point. Then G, shape, because they're creating a spiral-like shape and the frames are rectangle in shape, the 4 frames. And H, depth, because the lines are spiraling towards a focal point, creating a sense of depth, like visual depth is there. So these are the 5 correct options. You can choose any 4 to get full marks. Okay, look at this question. Here you can see the color wheel. In the depicted color wheel, which of the following quadrants have the wrong color sequence? Quadrant 1, 2, 3 or 4. Tell me in the comment section. Look at this carefully. It's very easy. The four options are quadrant 1, 2, 3, or 4. The right answer will be quadrant 3. Now I'll also tell you why it is wrong. Okay, because the sequence of color has changed here. There are three colors. Purple should be at the center. The color red purple, this one, the one which is currently at the center, this should be at the top. Blue violet is there in the right place. This purple will be at the center. So the sequence has changed in quadrant 3. So that is the wrong one. Okay, look at this. Identify the color scheme of the interior image from amongst the choices given below. So some options are given. They are complementary color combination, triadic, analogous, or monochrome. Which one do you think can be seen in this composition? Here you can see a large hall. It's a big room. Most of the walls are plain white, and you can see colors in three different walls. You can see a lighter shade of red, a darker shade of red, and orange. So which color combination can you see here? The right answer is B, analogous color pair. Here you can see a combination of three colors which are adjacent to each other in the color wheel. This will be one of the last questions that we'll be discussing in this session. Identify the four most important visual principles or elements in the given black and white photograph. Marks will be awarded only if all the answers are right. So this is a train station. You can see two routes. Here you can see a tunnel and you can see a coffered ceiling. This is a type of false ceiling. And you can see these straight lines. These are all parallel to each other. Here you can see different shaped sizes of squares. All these are squares in the coffered ceiling and they are becoming shorter, smaller and smaller as they go towards the center. This looks like a 1-point perspective image or sketch to me. And is black and white. So let's look at the options now. Observe the image carefully if such question comes. Now your options are distortion, asymmetry, focal point, grid, convergence, pattern, repetition, parallelism, and fluidity. There are 6 correct answers. First one is C, focal point, as it is 1-point perspective. All the lines are going towards a point, a central point. So that is the focal point of this image. Then D, grid. You can see a grid has been created on the roof. Then E, convergence, as all lines, everything, the railway track, everything is converging to one focal point. So convergence will be correct, of course. Then F is pattern. Because of repetition of similar kind of shapes, a pattern has been created in the composition. Then G. G is repetition. Repetition, of course, we can see same type of lines, the squares in the coffered ceiling, etc. Then H, parallelism is also correct because there are so many parallel lines in this composition. Okay, look at this one. Wait. Let me see if there are any more questions related to color theory. Okay, look at this one. Identify the color palette of the interior image from amongst the given choices. Look at this image. This is the image of an interior space. It's the image of a small hall or living area of any house. Here you can see some walls are there. One of the walls has a large opening. It can be a door or a window. Then there is a sofa and there's a single-seater chair. There's a small, tall and narrow table. And there's a lamp and there are some paintings. Now look at the primary colors, like the main colors that are taking all of your attention. Look at these colors. Tell me which color combination can you see here. Your options are complementary colors, analogous colors, triadic colors and monochromatic colors. Which combination do you think can be seen here? There is a great chance that you might feel that this is a monochromatic color combination, but please don't forget about the green that you can see at the bottom of the lamp, in the cushion that is kept on the sofa, in the door frame. Don't forget the purple that you can see in the tall table. Please remember these things and then tell me what is the correct answer. The right answer here will be analogous colors. The three colors, majorly three colors that you can see here are blue, green, blue, and blue, purple. So this is an analogous color pair where you can see three adjacent colors in this composition. So this was some discussion on principles of design, elements of design, and color theory. Before going, I will leave you with one last question. With respect to colors, match the following. So this is a match the following type of a question. You will find two lists. On the first side, on list 1, you will find some terms that are hue, tint, shade, and tone. And on the right side in list 2, you will find some short descriptions for each of these terms. So you can see add gray, pure color, add white, and add black. Please tell me the right answers in the comments. You already know what hue is. So I think you'll be able to answer this. We have just discussed hue. Hue is a pure color. So A will go with Q. Then B, tint. Tint is something that can be created when we add white. Then C is shade. Shade is something that can be created when we add black to a color. And tone is something that can be created by adding gray. So that was the last question that I wanted to discuss with you in today's class. I think today's class was quite loaded where we discussed a lot of topics. And I'm sure that you got to learn a lot in this session. Many different topics which are very important for exam preparation were discussed. And similar kind of questions were also discussed which have come in the previous year exams. So I'm sure you have got a nice idea of how to prepare for each topic. With that, this is Architect Nishitha Joshi signing out for this architectural awareness session. But stay tuned. We have Shantanu sir now for your other session. So I will now hand over to Shantanu sir. So you can take over now.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. So hello everyone. Hi, I'm Shantanu Shaluke. I'm architect and a designer, and we'll be discussing about a particular drawing question over here. So which which is related to creating a 3D composition. So while working on such questions, we will try to rather than probably discussing the entire question, we'll also discuss about the process that you should follow and various aspects like probably part A, part B to a certain question, similar question, and how do we cater to it in the given frame of time. So it's quite challenging to finish it and even to visualize at the same time and cater to interesting sort of a composition at the same time. Okay, so let's discuss some of this particular interesting aspects of it. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible to all of you and you are able to hear me properly. So I'm going to keep my camera switched off. It's majorly for the performance purpose because I'm drawing at the same time and I'm talking too. So let's read the question together very carefully. Create a 3D composition by arranging 8 plastic chairs symmetrically in an ascending order. Okay, so probably we would like to tweak, since it's a practice question, we can tweak the information in a certain manner. Okay, light is from the right side and the shade goes to the left side. That is quite obvious. See, light and shadow is like just the interaction, and probably it's just a side effect of the light. You get the shades and shadows. Okay, so let's try to cater to this question quite interestingly. So part A, I have a habit of usually catering down the information. We can write down it separately so that we are able to resolve it better. So we have 8 plastic chairs. So they have given us the material too. So while rendering it like light and shadow, we are able to resolve it better. So there are 8 plastic chairs. composed symmetrically in an ascending order. Okay, so there is an ascending order. So probably we don't know how the composition is like. So ascending, we are assuming, or we are composing, like probably we can also consider the different sizes in the chair. Not, I mean, it is completely fine if they're not like, stacked within each other or probably kept together. They might be just kept in an ascending order, like from a large chair to like maybe a smaller chair, or probably that's how it can work out. Okay, so let's think about it. So when that word comes, we will try to cater to it. Okay, so it's a symmetric composition. Okay, so whatever it is, so it's a symmetric composition. So basically it has to like ascending order, either from left to right or from center to top, right? Because it's a symmetrical option. And the last but the most important information is ascending symmetric. I will write it in the same a keyword. And then the part, this is like the last part, right? We would try to cater to it at the last moment. Okay, so that is rendering it. We are just calling it rendering because we want to show the feasibility of that composition. So first of all, let's try to consider the 8 plastic chairs. Okay, now the chairs can be different, they can be the same, but can come up with a different sizes or probably scale and proportion too. Okay, so we are gonna understand that, and this is how we are gonna. So again, like probably stacking it, and probably then I'm considering that given timeline to me, probably which is just 20 minutes for a question, and probably making a like we can draw this composition like probably stacking, and but it becomes quite difficult to render it within a short span of time. So I'm going to understand how do we cater to this information very quickly and easily. Okay, so I'm going to work on this, and it's a symmetrical and in an ascending order sort of a composition. So let's go ahead, let's try to cater to this. Okay, so composition, I'm gonna use a rough space that is provided in the back side of the page. Okay, and what you can do is you can just make your scribbles. Okay, so composition has to be symmetric and ascending, right? So we're gonna, this is ascending from small to bigger, or from contrasting information, thinner to thicker, whatever, that's the ascending order, right? So it is going to set up the contrast. So I'm going to understand probably plastic chair. I'm going to take the simple plastic chair. Let's try to recreate it quickly. Okay, maybe this has handle. Even to avoid the complications further, we're going to take the very simple chair. Okay, even I mean that caters to, or even if you wish to keep it like just simple square, it's totally fine. Okay, I'm just going to decide the shape of the volume, the mass of the chair, so that we are able to cater to its futuristic needs, which is like composition. And okay, so this might be the chair. Probably we can also just keep it quite simple, like maybe even the back is square. I'm understanding my potential and time that is provided to me. I'm gonna just draw this. Okay, maybe I'm gonna keep it, if it's a plastic. What is difference between the plastic and wood is that plastic is moldable, right? It is easy to work on, and probably that is why it is the most thriving material in the current industry right now. We need to understand the properties of it. Okay, so and we're going to use it. uh, okay, fine. So this is my plastic chair, this is one I'm going to use, maybe like in different sizes, which maybe they are made for built for kids, or probably even like we can just draw this in the top view. Maybe they are placed in something like this, so probably the chairs may be all of in the same size. As a perspective, probably this one is like kept farther away. Okay, like it has to be symmetrical, and the one that is kept closer, it is closer to you, and that is why it appears bigger, and that is what we are trying to understand as ascending or descending. Any choice is yours. Okay, so we are just going to cater to very simple understanding of the material and composition too. We don't want to unnecessarily get into a complex sort of idea, so that which probably we might not be able to finish on time. So we need to understand the situation, and that is what the whole planning executing skills, or probably the practice will come in handy, and you would be able to resolve things in a quite sort of a time. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's probably, I'm going to keep this whole thing that I have drawn as my, probably a keyframe. So, or a thumbnail or key sketch. Okay, so having key sketch always helps you, is because it helps you plan things better. Okay, so and that is why making key sketches is quite important. Okay, fine. So now the next one that I'm going to understand the composition part with this sort of a chair. Now I'm, like I said, I like this idea of maintaining. So basically sustainability, or being smart or efficiency, is something that you don't use a lot of different things or a lot of different processes, but rather same thing, but drawing or using it more smartly. Okay, so I'm going to draw that. Okay, maybe this is like sort of a perspective I would be using, making a small sketch. Okay, it's a symmetrical composition. Okay, now symmetrical composition, not, I mean, doesn't have to, like, have to be of the same size, but it is dynamically, okay, it is dynamically will give you the same sort of a position of the objects that are there being used. Okay, so I'm going to use, maybe this is the center of it. Okay, so let's say maybe these chairs are placed at some function or some, like, maybe a public space, like, bus stop, or maybe an airport or something. Okay, so I'm gonna see the perspective is already done, like we have already been created a lot of things, and maybe that is like two different, this is like a corner that they have, maybe using. I'm just gonna draw this. Let's see what, I mean, you cannot judge the composition until and unless it has been created. So rather than worrying about what to do, I would start with the composition. And maybe even if it goes wrong, because this is me using my rough space at this moment, at this stage, and you see the sizes are been ascending, right? So maybe I have to fit in like sort of a 4 chairs over here. We can definitely go back to idea where we have started, since we are not, the whole part of, like, sketching is to, obsolete, or the isolate the thoughts that you are getting with one thing. Okay, so this is my understanding of composition. Okay, maybe let's see. So this is like even getting even closer. Okay, we are just smartly placed this that in the eye level, so that we don't have to draw so much of the top view of this. Okay, so maybe let's keep it over here. Maybe this side of the perspective will slightly tweak, as probably this is, and we can actually check if we are drawing or we are dealing with things in a correct manner or correct fashion. Okay, fine. Now we can rotate, as this is symmetrical live composition. You see the chairs have been placed over here, something like this. And maybe, we can just check if the composition is looking good. It doesn't matter if the composition is vertical, composition is horizontal. Okay, and it has to look good and, make sense at the end. Okay, so I'm just trying to keep it simple. Maybe I would change it also, but right now what we need to do is we need to work on the idea. We need to understand the potential of the thoughts that we are, discussing. Okay, fine, this is the key sketch that we are discussing about. Okay, maybe. Okay, fine. Now let's try to, usually what I do is I see it upside down. See the sketch inverted, like just turn your paper. You would be able to see, like, if there is something wrong with the perspective, or simply if you have opportunity, just take it. If you are practicing, okay, if you are practicing, just take it in a mirror and just see, like, tweak it. Okay, so perspective seems quite fine. So now what I can do is I can take this idea, maybe. Okay, maybe we can take this idea, make it like, I'm drawing digitally, so I'm just trying to, use the potential, but you can draw lighter since the beginning. Now I'm trying to sketch my first, because this chair is something that in my composition I would be paying the utmost attention to, or probably, the values or the colors would be the most darkest. So I'm gonna pay attention to this. Now they are saying the next information is something else, so I'm gonna pay attention to that as well right now with this sketch itself. So light is from the right side and the shadow goes to the left side. So light is coming somewhere from here. Okay, so that means this edge is gonna be lit. Okay, at the same time, now the base of the chair. Okay, you see the base of the chair, it is gonna be facing light from this side, but the shadows, it is not too dark. See, so probably I'm not gonna use a lot of complex entities, but I'm gonna draw a simple information. Okay, maybe this legs over here. Okay, just drawing the information which is like light from the right side. So you see, I'm just gonna draw and keep a larger part. If you are able to see this, I'm not drawn this straight. Okay, so maybe you see, you would be able to see like keeping this right, following the perspective grid. Okay, don't think that I'm not following this, because the only way to make it perceivable is to follow the perspective, right? If the drawing is not correct, people might not believe in what you are trying to say. So the very first important thing is that your sketch is believable. It is following the uh, proper ways of discussing. Now probably see, light is from this side, so this leg might be completely in the shadow, is because the whole shadow of the chair is falling in this leg. That is what I'm trying to believe, but I'm trying to believe like create a variable information, maybe like so with which you can also block in the values. Okay, so totally your call, how do you wish to do this. I am going to just show you multiple ways to deal with it smartly. Okay, fine. Now this is like slightly more away from the light. Now this is also casting some shadow on the legs of it. So we are gonna draw that. See, since it is curved, but still it will try to reflect something on this. Okay, see, we are done. Now maybe let's taking the same chair. Okay, let's taking the same chair. Probably maybe now I have something for the reference. Now I can quickly create this, and as it moves further, okay, we're gonna start drawing it little lighter and lighter. Maybe the second chair can be the as darkest as the first one, but I'm gonna pay attention to the visual principles of understanding things. Okay, not necessary that we have to. Okay, now the same value, maybe little. So what I've done is like I have drafted this like with some distance. So we understand even though color is the same, you see the color that we are using is same, but this seems more lighter as we are trying to use more of say rendering qualities. Okay, fine. So now this leg is obviously over here. Drawing some slowly more and more information. Okay, now light is coming from here. That means the shadow of this chair would be somewhere in this direction, right? Okay, so now and I'm using this quite as a parallel light, and I'm just trying to understand the shadow of this, something like this, maybe which is believable. See, okay, and that's the chair. I'm gonna use this little bit of say hazy. So we understand that light is quite strong over here, and now the shadows are getting weaker. So this is my sort of a bit of understanding that we need to create. So I think it's a small session. Maybe even if we just do, we are able to do this on the right hand side, I think we still would be able to, and I'm moving on from the previous information. So having our own underlays, the rough sketch that we have made, it is, you see, it is something that is mostly helping me out. Now this distance hardly seems any, but yeah, we are drawing this. Okay, get my point? Now, maybe what we can do is, now this, there is slight distance and maybe the light is percolating. Okay, we can also keep this little darker on this side, but yeah, maybe we can keep some light. Yeah, it is percolating through. Okay, which is obviously making this chair little lighter as it is moving away from your eyes too. So we need to keep on discussing, sort of things which, help us probably understanding. Now I have drawn this like quite at the back, which is not possible. Okay, but yeah, this is how we would be able to, achieve some things. Okay, now I'm gonna make this little dark over here a little bit. Okay, I'm purposely avoiding to help draw the top over here. Okay, but what we can do is like we can draw some reflected light over here. You see, like at least in the first one. Okay, you see that is the light that is reflected back. Now the last chair which we are supposed to draw, which is over here. Okay, and you see I'm just following the perspective and without hardly any, once your idea is blocked in, you don't have to like really worry about things now, and the shadows and light would make it more prominent, right? All you have to do is draw this information that we are just drawing. Okay, so like the shadows of all the legs, it's just the line that have been casted from, right? We have not drawn this one leg over here, and obviously trust me, this is like much darker. And what we're gonna do is like maybe just cover this up here. Okay, so that is in the back of it. But yeah, you see, we are almost done. And now the shadows are also like you would be able to observe that they're not as, maybe bright. There is some space. So obviously we're gonna follow that. Okay, see, so that is the shadows. That is how it is gonna be visible. Okay, maybe this is the front side of the last chair, and I'm purposely keeping some white space. And you see, like suddenly it looks like there is more light and it is gonna go diffused in this section, right? So just observe that. Okay, so this is how we can perceive the composition quite easily. Now it's the same thing, even if we draw these chairs, and you need to observe one thing is that the shadow of this chairs is also gonna be over here. Okay, so we have to understand that, and that is the whole idea is gonna make it confusing. Okay, so and obviously from light is from here, so we're gonna just quickly be able to just observe. I will draw a we have short like you know like quite on time, and we have to finish this also. But anyway, like we will just discuss how this whole composition on the right hand side is gonna work out. Okay, this is the chair on the right side. You see, now light is from here, and now the entire change is gonna be seen on this side over here. You see, because the light is over here. And since even though this is the the light side, the shadow is gonna be casted like simply like this. It would be not exactly dark, but not exactly brighter as well. So I'm trying to keep the space as okay, and this is gonna be, and probably the shadow of this chair would be something more like this. Okay. As the light is from this side, it is gonna touch the legs over here. Okay, so this is the chair the first chair on this side, like maybe. Yeah, I'm still keeping myself open is because we want to using the perspective. See that lines are gonna be there anyway, so I'm purposely drawing them so that we are able to cater to things. Okay, and now since it is like towards the lighter side, I am drawing the chairs even light as possible because I'm trying to show that this side is the darkest, but this side is the brightest. Okay, so maybe I would make it even lighter. Anyway, so going ahead. Okay, fine. And the last chair, since it is a symmetrical composition, okay. So purposely, we are trying to keep it as bright as possible. And you see, like, this is gonna be something like at the bottom only, because light is from here. Light is falling more longitudinal over here, but yeah, more direct over here, this side. Okay, so the farthest chair will have some of the the brightest values, even though it is in the shadows. Here you would be able to be observe that the shadows are, I mean, even though this is closer, quite far, quite the sharpest. Okay, and here you would observe like they are quite the darkest, right? Yeah, you see, and that is what is gonna help your vision to pan across this chairs that we have been able to design, been able to draw, right? And this is how we can draw the entire question that has been asked. Okay, fine. We can just make this look little correct. The perspective has gone little curved, right? So I'm just gonna make it like little perfect. Okay, fine. And just, I mean, they have not asked. If they ask, people usually the question arises when you are, keeping it. Okay. So this is how the, I will try to keep all of the information away so that you are able to see the composition much better. Okay, anyway, I've drawn this like little roughly over here. We can draw this, and probably, we can also keep a person who is maybe walking towards, if they ask in future, like maybe questions are, just to show the scale of the composition. I mean, we can use, okay, a schematic sketch of a person. And light is from this side, so we are gonna keep it the, you know very very intentionally that same way possibly. This is just to understand the scale of the, maybe this is, sorry, just like we can keep it super light so that it is felt the entire figure is quite in the back of it or quite farther away from the chairs. Get my point? So this is how you depict and you show the scale as well. So I hope you understood the question. I hope you enjoyed it. The whole point is how you manage your time, how smartly you draw things, how efficiently you create the information that has been asked to you. And sometimes, like obviously it is like for example, this is like farther away from light. So it will have some repercussions on it, like maybe it will not be as super bright as the one which are closer to the information. Now you see, like we have drawn a person also. So maybe that way it will this will also cast some shadows on this chair, okay, as the person is standing next to it, and light is since coming from this side. So you need to understand, you need to visualize, spend time with your sketch, spend time with it, understand the whole process, and then start drawing, rather than pushing it like very immediately from the darker. And I would say is explore your sketch, you and keep it lighter. You can still refine it, uh, towards your final one. So this is it. I will stop over here now, and I hope you enjoyed the session, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. I will hand over to the host and the coordinator for this session. Thank you.